Hello, I'm Philip Brunelle, Artistic Director and founder of Vocal Lessons and organist choir master at Plymouth Congregational Church in Minneapolis. So each day I've taken a composer who's had a role to play at one or both of these organizations, and today it is the Argentine composer Astor Piazzolla, Piazzolla. And it's fitting to honor him now because this year, 2021, marks the 100th anniversary of his birth. Born in 1921, passed away in 1992. He was not only a composer, he was a bandoneon player, I'll talk about that in a moment, and an arranger. You know, back in the 1800s, there were, of course, many dances that went on, and into the 1900s, you had the foxtrot and all kinds of dances for couples, but most of them were dances in which you were apart and you only came together perhaps for a handshake or something. That was not true of the tango. The tango was a traditional dance that it was both a dance and a song, and you embraced your bodies together when you danced. You've all seen the pictures of them. I was fortunate enough at a trip to Buenos Aires to be walking down the street, and suddenly at the corner I heard this music, and there, because it happens just anywhere in Buenos Aires, is a couple doing the tango with an accompaniment, and you just were amazed to see these two people. My great experience was that I had brought with me a picture that I had clipped out of the New York Times, and it was a picture of a couple doing the tango, and I just thought, I didn't know I was going to see a lot of tango dancers, but I'll bring it along. So I had this picture with me. I see this couple dancing. I pull out the picture and go, it's them. So when they finished, I took the picture up and said, here is this picture, would you like it? We remember when a photographer took our picture, but we never heard anything more. I said, here it is, please take it. It was a wonderful, wonderful moment. So Piazzolla invented really a new kind of tango, which, you know, there was the traditional tango, but his was called the Nuevo tango, which was a combination of the traditional, but with jazz elements and also with classical elements that became part of it. And it became a very, very popular, wonderful form of music, and still is. So there were tango clubs, and still are, down in Argentina. Piazzolla studied for 5 years with another eminent Argentine composer, Ginastera, studying orchestration. He toured a number of times in the USA and actually also went to Paris and studied for a time with Nadia Boulanger, the famous teacher of orchestration and composition. And when he went to her, he said, I want to write these classical kind of style pieces. And he was showing her things. And then he said, but I've also done, and he handed her a tango piece. And she looked at it and said, that is what you should be doing. That is your calling. And so it was that he did the Nuevo Tango. The orchestra for a tango of his kind involved just a small group. It involved a violin, a piano, a bass, cello perhaps, and this other instrument called the bandoneon, B-A-N-D, named after Mr. Band, a man in Germany. How to explain to you the bandoneon? If you think of the accordion, and you know it has keys on one side that you play, and then you have buttons that you push on the other side to give you the chords you want. Well, the bandoneon is somewhat the same shape, a little smaller, kind of like an oblong box, The difference is you have buttons on both sides. So you have buttons on one side to give you the individual notes that you have to find. On the other side, you have your chords. And the sound of the bandoneon is different than the sound of an accordion. So this bandoneon is that kind of instrument. And you know, it was some years ago that here we at Vocal Essence performed music of Piazzolla, and I thought, where am I going to find a bandoneon player? I found one, of course, in St. Paul, Minnesota. And this wonderful fellow came and was the accompaniment, and you needed that sound. And it was just accompanied by him and a string bass doing pizzicato with him on the bandoneon. So he was an amazing composer. So the music I'm going to play is very much in that tango idea. He wrote a series of 4 tangos for the 4 seasons of the year. The first one I'm going to play is a little bit of his Summer in Buenos Aires tango, composed in 1965. So you get the idea at the beginning. The chorus is singing. So you get the idea of that kind of feeling. Now, with the bandoneon, in another piece of his, which was his Autumn in Buenos Aires, the choir begins, and then after the opening part, they stop, and you have a bandoneon solo. So here you are at the beginning. You have, again, the tempos are that tempo because you had to be dancing the tango to this tempo. And then the bandoneon takes over. And then the choir re-enters. It's great music. Wonderful to listen to, obviously wonderful to dance to, and that is why now in Argentina they think about Piazzolla as the great man of the Nuevo Tango. Have a wonderful day.